Namaste, Swagatam. In today's edition of Brihat Utsava, a series of conversations with Dr. Srinivasa Jammalamadaka garu, we celebrate Akṣaya Tṛtīya, which falls on May 10th this year. And it is a timely reminder, a yearly reminder, that the essence of true wealth is not measured by what we accumulate, but by what we generously share with the world around us. Our objective today is to explore relevant rituals concerning this festival. Let us learn more from Srinivasa garu. About Srinivasa garu. Dr. Srinivasa Jammalamadaka garu studied Nyaya or Tarka Shastra under Sri A. Radheshama Shastri garu, Advaita Vedanta under Sri R. Mani Dravada Shastrigal, and Vyakarana under Sri Ganti Dattatreya Murthy garu. He has completed the Tenali exams in Taraka Shastra and has also taken the Tenali exams for Advaita Vedanta. He holds an MPhil and PhD in Nyaya Shastra. Earlier, he served as Assistant Professor and Director of the School of Śāstric Learning, Kavikula Guru Kalidasa Sanskrit University, Ramtek. He is the co-founder of Sri Kameshwari Foundation and is presently working as Scholar IKS courses in Siddhanta Knowledge Foundation. He has been conferred with awards such as Tarkaratnam and Vidwan Mani by Sri Kanchi Shankaracharya ji and Shastra Kalanidhi by the Madhya Pradesh State Governor. Namaste, Andi Srinivasa garu. Bagunara. Swagatam. Once again, lots of questions from our end. Akṣaya Tṛtīya, Srinivasa garu, celebrated in this month of Vaishaka Masam. It is considered auspicious by many to buy jewelry and real estate on this day. That is all most of us know about this festival. First of all, is this true? And can you please explain the significance and reason behind this belief, if it is so?
Yeah. So, as you said, in the contemporary, from the recent past, Akṣaya Tṛtīya is known for buying gold, especially gold. And after the real estate boom, even real estate, buying something is the whole USP of Akṣaya Tṛtīya, is how it is being portrayed out there. So, as the word Akshaya means, endless, something like which does not actually reduce or something like that. So we all try to connect with the word Akshaya with the wealth, prosperity. So that is the whole idea behind pushing this kind of a narrative. And this was the, I would say for me, a point to actually for research again, as for other things also. So when I found that it is very astonishingly that it is the contrary to what is normally being, publicized over there. So the USP of Akṣaya Tṛtīya today is to buy something and with the feeling that it will sustain, acquire something which will be there for a longer period of time. But here the word Akshaya, definitely the meaning is the same, but the Dharma Shastras have a different approach towards how Akshaya is being achieved. So, Akṣaya Tṛtīya is moreover, according to the Dharma Shastras, is about giving away, or distributing your wealth with others, and the phalam of that, the outcome of that would be Akshaya. So, that is the whole. It's the quite opposite. That is what I say. But the intention of Akṣaya Tṛtīya is the same. The spirit of Akṣaya Tṛtīya, which is being being followed is the same, celebrated is the same, but the way to celebrate is something different, which we find in the Dharma Shastras.
So it is more sharing, more dhanam, more giving away than
giving, and it has a very significant importance towards the Pitru Devatas, which is very less known. So that is one another.
We'll come to that. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, because these are very important factors, and the listeners should get that elaborately from you. The text Nirnayamrita, it talks about 4 yugas, the epochs of Kruta, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali Yuga. And Akṣaya Tṛtīya is regarded as a starting point of these yugas. Just wanted some elaboration on this.
Yes. So we find this quote from Nirnayamrita in Nirnaya Sindhu. So Nirnaya Sindhu is a compilation of Dharma Shastra texts. So it is like there is one verse which goes like Maghe Panchadashi Krishna Nabhasyecha Trayodashi Tritiya Madhave Shukla Navam Yurje Yugadaya. So there are different beginning points of each of the yugas. So it is the Magha Panchadashi, that is the Magha Amavasya, and Bhadrapada Krishna Trayodashi, Vaishakha Shukla Tritiya, and Kartika Shukla Navami are considered to be the starting point of one of the yugas, because not all the yugas.
Could you please repeat those three?
Magha Amavasya,
Magha Amavasya,
Bhadrapada Krishna Trayodashi. So that is Nabhasya. Nabhasya means Bhadrapada Masa. And Tritiya Madhave Shukla. Madhave means Vaishakha Masa. Shukla Tritiya. So that is the Shukla Tritiya. There is the Akṣaya Tṛtīya. And Urje means the Kartika Masa is called as Urja Masa also. And Shukla Navami. So Kartika Navami. So these 4 tithis are considered to be the starting points of each of the yuga, or one of the yugas, because it is not clear which is the starting point of which yuga. Because in some texts we find that the Akṣaya Tṛtīya is the starting point of Krita Yuga. In some texts we find it to be Treta Yuga. But there is no, until now I haven't found any particular citation which will clearly explain which tithi to which yuga starting point.
So we don't know Kali Yuga started with Akṣaya Tṛtīya or not. We are not sure. Any of the 4 could be.
These 4 are called as Yugadis. So there are 2 types of Yugadis. So one is the Yugadi that which we celebrate as the New Year, Lunar New Year, or the Solar New Year also. If it is the Sauramana, is the other way around.
Yes.
But here the Yugadi means the word Yuga doesn't mean year, but it is the epoch. That is the So that is the Yugadi over here. So this is also these 4. There are these 4 tithis are also called as Yugadi tithis.
So it's actually very, very how should we say, sacred day.
Yes.
What we have reduced to just buying. So it is and even bigger than the Yugadi we celebrate in Chaitra Masa, because that is only for the year. This is for the Yuga. It could be any Yuga, it could be Kali Yuga. So it is actually very quite a big event that we don't know of, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yes. This is something very new for us, definitely for me. And a reference in Prithvi Chandrodaya mentions that bathing in the sacred oceans, rivers, performing homas, japas on Akṣaya Tṛtīya is very important. But typically holy baths are done during Kartika Masam Kadaya, so far as I know, also in Magha Masam. So if you can please enlighten us on the rituals that are performed during Akṣaya Tṛtīya.
So coming to sacred baths, you have different kinds of sacred baths. As you said, Kartika Snanam is there, Magha Snanam is there. We also interestingly have a Vaishakha Snanam also. So each and every sacred baths have a different understanding, a different background to it. So here also, as it is a Yugadi, Akṣaya Tṛtīya is also Yugadi, what should we do in the Yugadi? All the Yugadis is Ya Manvadya Yugadyascha Tithayas Tasu Madhava Snatva Hutvacha Japtva Ananta Phalam Labheta. So here the word Ananta means Akshaya. So this is one of the connotations of Akṣaya Tṛtīya, right? So on this particular Yugadi day, on all the 4 Yugadi tithis, what should we do is Snatva, we should do a sacred bath, Hutva, do Homa, Japtva, do Japa, which will yield Ananta Phalam, which will yield Akshaya Phalam. So that is also why this is called as Akṣaya Tṛtīya. Because whatever auspicious ritual that you perform on this day, the reward for that ritual would be Ananta or Akshaya. So hence this is Akṣaya Tṛtīya.
Something good we do today, especially like on Akṣaya Tṛtīya, that is Danam or Japam or the Snanam we do in the rivers, anything that we do, it has multifold result, much more than other days. That's what we're saying. So that is great to know. And in Bhavishya Puranam, regarding the Dharma Ghata Danam, it mentions that the Danam of the Ghata should constitute elements like gold, of course water, eatables, grains like Yava, Sattu, etc. Is this the kind of Danam which you had also mentioned for the Ramanavami video, Andy? I think Ugadi and Ramanavami, you said you had to give Ghata Danam. So is this now continuing to give, you said 4 months, I think, continue to give the Ghata Dana, right? So it includes Vaishakha Masam, so Akṣaya Tṛtīya also. But can you please elaborate on the elements in the Ghata?
There is a slight difference between the definition of Dharma Ghata in the Yugadi, that in the sense of the New Year, Lunar New Year, and here. There is a slight difference in the definition. So there, it was only, Dharma Ghata was defined as a pot filled with water covered with a cloth is Dharma Ghata.
Yes.
So here we find a bit more elaborated another kind of a definition, that is so the Dharmagata is like Udakumbhan sa Kanakan Sannan Sarva Rasaisaha Yava Godhuma Chanakan Saktu Dadhyodanam Tatha Graishmikam Sarvamevatra Sasyam Dane Prashasyate. So here the Dharmagata is not only water, pots filled with water. So you have Udakumbha, that is the pots filled with water. Sa Kanakan, pots filled with gold. Sannan, pots filled with food, eatery, I mean edible food. Sarva Rasaisaha, the food with which all kinds of tastes. Yava Godhuma Chanakan, Yava being a grain like a barley. Godhuma is wheat, Chanakan is chickpeas, and Saktu is a Sattu. Now we call it as Sattu, right? So it's a mixture of, I suppose, wheat and other grains. So there is a ratio for that. It is a very high protein this thing. So that is Saktu. And Dadhyodanam. Dadhyodanam is curd rice. And not only that, Graishmikam Sasyam Sarvamevatra. So whatever is the harvest that is yielded in the Grishma Ritu, anything and everything, whatever the outcome of that harvest of Grishma Ritu, can also be filled in a pot and given away. So
this is all in one pot or different pots of different
pots? It can be, because you have a Bahuvachana here, Udakumbhan. So it is not only one pot. You can have different kinds of pots. Essentially, if you see, whatever has been described in this is some or the other kind of a wealth. So everything is wealth over here. So what should you do this Dharmagata? You have to do the dana. So that is the whole this thing about Dharmagata.
Okay. And this day, Akṣaya Tṛtīya, it is believed that worshipping the Trimurtis, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, this satisfies our Pitris and the ancestors, what you were talking about. So please elaborate on Pitri worship on Akṣaya Tṛtīya day.
So here, as the Dharmagata is there, so again, similar to the Dharmagata in the lunar new year, that is in the Yugadi, even this Dharmagata is also considered to be the form of the Trimurtis. So while giving this Dharmagata as a Danam to someone, so there is a shloka that you have to, or a shloka that we have to recite. It goes something like Esha Dharma Ghato Dattaha Brahma Vishnu Shivatmakaha Asya Pradanat Tripyantu Pitaropi Pitamaha.
As usual, I can repeat it. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Gandhodaka Tilair Mishram Sannam Kumbham Phalanvitam Pitrubhya Sampradasyami Akshayam Upatishtatu. So here we find the word Akshaya. So it is with the reference to the Pitru Devatas.
Okay.
Yeah. So shall I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Line by line, if we can go.
Esha Dharma Ghato Dattaha.
Esha Dharma Ghato Dattaha. Esha Dharma Ghato Datta. Esha Dharma Ghato Dattaha.
Brahma Vishnu Shivatmakaha.
Brahma Vishnu Shivatmakaha.
Asya Pradanat Tripyantu.
Asya Pradanat Tripyantu.
Pitaropi Pitamaha.
Pitaropi Pitamaha.
Gandhodaka Tilair Mishram.
Gandhodaka Tilair Mishram.
Sannam Kumbham Phalanvitam.
Sannam Kumbham Phalanvitam.
Pitrubhyaha Sampradasyami.
Pitrubhyaha
Sampradasyami.
Sampradasyami. Pitrubhyaha Sampradasyami.
Akshayam Upatishtatu.
Akshayam Upatishtatu.
So here we are saying that the Dharmagata is the form of the Trimurtis. It is the representation of the Trimurtis. And by performing this dana, may my Pitru Devatas be happy of it. And this Dharmagata even may have Gandhodaka, that is, paste, sandal paste, water mixed with sandal paste, and Tilair Mishram. So the sesame seeds are normally the representation of the Pitru Devatas. So you can even put that Sannam Kumbham Phalanvitam. So again, Annam, that is the eatables. So here the Anna word may refer to all the kinds of Annas that we talked about in the previous shloka also. So this is done, given to the Pitru Preeti. So for the Pitru Preeti that we are giving this Danam, and may the phalam of this Danam Akshayam Upatishtatu. Whatever I am giving in regard or keeping my Pitru Devatas in my mind, may all this be with my Pitru Devatas forever, and even I also may reap the forever benefits forever. So here.
So we are giving this to somebody, or we're keeping it like for the crows or cows outside?
No, we are giving it to somebody. We have to give it to somebody.
Acha. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it is not just keeping something. You're just like previously what you said, you give Ghatadanam. Same thing we are doing, but with this shloka that you said that we repeat and we offer it.
This is a specific tithi-based Ghatadanam, Dharma Ghatadanam. So here the definition. So that is here we can understand how Shastra is very precise about rituals. So even though this is the same Dharma Ghata, the spirit of Dharma Ghatadanam is the same, but the depending upon the occasion, the definition of Dharma Ghata is differing.
Oh, yes, yes. And today, which is Akṣaya Tṛtīya day, is also Parashurama Jayanti, I heard. Now, is this some kind of a coincidence that it appears on that day, or there is some more, significance behind it?
In the Bhavishya Purana and Skanda Puranas, we find that Shri Parashurama, one of the avatars in the Dashavataras of Vishnu, was born on Akṣaya Tṛtīya. That is Vaishakhasya Site Pakshe Tritiyayam Punarvasau Nishayaha Prathame Yame Ramakhyas Samaye Harihi Swojjagaihi Shadgrahair Yuktam Mithune Rahu Samsthite Renukayastu Yogarbhat Avatirno Hariswayam. So Vaishakhasya Site Pakshe, that is in the Shukla Paksha of the Vaishakha Masa on the Tritiyayam Punarvasau. Tritiya Tithi under the nakshatra of Punarvasu nakshatra. Nishayaha Prathame Yame. On the first Yama. Yama is a period of 3 hours mostly. So the first 3 hour period of the night, Ramakhyas Samaye Hari. Hari, Lord Vishnu with the name of Rama was born to Renukayastu Garbhe. He was born to Renuka Devi. And here also similar to Ramachandra Prabhu's this thing. There also we find the Kundali, right?
Yes.
There is birth chart. So here also Sri Ramachandra is having 5 grahas, a planet, 5 grahas in their exalted state, this thing, positions. Here Parashurama has 6 grahas in the exalted positions, and the Rahu graha is in the Mithuna Rashi. So this is another definition, description given about the birth chart of Parashurama. So he.
For him, like we do Ramanavami, typically we celebrate Akṣaya Tṛtīya. Not many people celebrate Parashurama, but he's also an avatara. So is there a specific way to celebrate it?
We have to see. Until now, I haven't. There is a separate work called Parashurama Puja, for Archa Vidhanam or something. So I think we have to find something over there, but I haven't gone through the text now. But definitely, as Parashurama is the incarnation of Lord Srihari, definitely a Purusha Sukta Vidhana kind of a Shodashopchara Puja can be performed to Parashurama also. Okay.
And he's one person who appears, one of the few, I think, who appears both in Treta and Dwapara Yuga. You find him in Ramayana and Mahabharata also. So he would be very significant. And if we pray to him, it might, especially these days.
Because he is the spirit of Idam Kshatram, Idam Shastram, Idam Kshatram. So he is said to be Idam Shastram, Idam Kshatram. So he was the one who is the inspiration for many, for even maybe Chhatrapati Shivaji also, that you need to be well versed in Shastras, at the same time even well versed in Kshatra. So he is the Brahma, a spirit of manifestation, a personification of the spirit of Brahma and Kshatra, both together.
Both together.
So he was well versed even in the Shastras, at the same time even in the Kshatra Vidyas also. So he is one inspiration for everyone who wish to again work towards the renaissance of Dharma, well versed even in the Shastras, at the same time have the Kshatra spirit, hence well versed in even the Kshatra Vidyas also.
To root out adharma, you need to have that. So he's a combination of both. What I think is being called intellectual Kshatriya these days. I think Rajiv Malhotra calls that character
Yes.
as intellectual Kshatriya. So we understand that the modern commercial influences promote the purchase of gold and material prosperity, property, etc. On Akṣaya Tṛtīya. Whereas what I'm seeing is in the traditional scriptures and practices, the emphasis is on different kind of wealth. So there is tripti, wealth of contentment. Of course, distributing wealth in terms of ghatas and what is inside them, of generosity and kindness, and celebration, let's say, of Parashurama, his avatara. What are your thoughts, Andy? Anything you want to elaborate on this, and how,
Yeah.
let's say, individuals should celebrate Akṣaya Tṛtīya this time, May 10th?
Acquiring wealth is never said to be wrong. Definitely, everyone has to purchase gold, has to acquire some or the piece of land or some home. Definitely, those are things that we have to do. It is not that we have to not do. But at times now, the trend is in such a way that as it is an auspicious day, people are even buying gold by taking loan. So
Yes.
maybe that we have to get rid of.
Extreme.
And more, yes, extreme, doing it, it becomes more superstitious. If you do it in such a way, it becomes a dogmatic,
Yes.
practice. Maybe we need to know what is the spirit behind the Akṣaya Tṛtīya. And definitely, we also have to have wealth, which is Akshaya, which is endless. Definitely, we all should aspire for that, but in a dharmic way.
Yes.
So, and even wealth is not only confined to gold or land. Even that is also another thing maybe we have to understand.
Yes.
And I would say rediscover ourselves again by understanding the practice, the idea behind all these practices, and try to at least practice one or the other thing, which we can do it in our, capabilities.
So not to be superstitious or even superficial, just to acquire wealth just for comparisons or competitiveness. But if we have the wealth by dharmika means, which you are saying is important and we should, then we are able to buy, then it's okay. But not to take loan and put ourselves in a difficult position in our families, and then because it's Akṣaya Tṛtīya, I'm supposed to buy. That is wrong. If we are able
such kind of practices are also, giving the anti-dharmic forces a good way to say that these are all dogmatic practices.
Yes.
If you go through the shastras, you don't find any dogma in it. Everything has a spirit to it, and no compulsion. It is not that if you're not able to do that, you're going to, some naraka or something. No, it is not that. It is only about having a positive spirit towards, having a positive nature towards any ritual, any practice.
I would like to repeat that for the viewers, that Shastra has nothing dogmatic in it and there is no compulsion. So as Srinivas Garu has been very, very diligently and patiently explaining to us over the past few times that we have met him and will continue to do so, Shastra has nothing dogmatic. Everything has a reason. There is a spirit behind whatever we are doing and there is no compulsion. And that is why maybe people take it to the extremes, unfortunately, because there's no compulsion. Instead of taking the freedom of it and doing it as per the required manner, people take it to the extremes. And whether you see ads or whether you see, here Akṣaya Tṛtīya, the first thing that comes to a person's mind is, oh, we have to buy gold or we have to buy this. And it's not about sharing. It's not about celebration. It's no longer a festival of celebration like Ugadi or Ramanavami, which now we have realized is Parashurama, who has 6 planets exalted, which is one more than Sri Rama himself. We don't celebrate his birth, let's say, on the same day, but we are invested in only buying, and that is not correct, you're saying. And we should go back to the spirit of the Shastras, which are they give us a lot of freedom. So anything else you would like to add, Dandi? I'm done with my questions. But
yes, there is only one thing that I think I have skipped is, especially another, in addition to the sacred bath, the snanas, among them is 2 snanas that are given, that is the Ganga snana and Samudra snana. So normally you bathe in Ganga, so that is every time a very sacred thing to do. On this particular day, there is some auspiciousness to that. That is one aspect of it. If you are near Ganga, do Ganga snana. And if you are near any Samudra or sea or ocean, definitely, because Samudra snana is not to be done every day.
Yes.
So according to the Shastras, there are specific days mentioned to do Samudra snana. It is said, go and do Samudra snana today. Then you are, so today, on Akṣaya Tṛtīya, you can do Samudra snana. So, Yugadau tu narasnatava vidhival lavano dadhau. So, Yugadi, on all the 4 Yugadis, what we mentioned, the Tithis, you have to do vidhivat lavanodado. Lavanodati means the sea or the ocean. Go sahasra pradhanasya kurukshetre phalam hiyat tat phalam labhate martyo bhumi danasya cha dhruvam. So the reward of giving 1,000 cows in Kurukshetra. So giving performing a dana in a particular kshetra also has a different kind of a reward to it. And even giving performing a bhumi dana, a bhudana, will also is similar to having a samudra snana on the Yugadi, which happens to be even Akṣaya Tṛtīya. So this is one thing. And in another way, in another Purana, we find this Ganga toye narasratva muchyate sarvakil vishayi. Vaishakhe shukla paksheta Tritiyayam tathaivacha. So on this day, again, Ganga Snana is given. And additionally, if we remember the first, in the first, Snatva, Hutva, Japtva, the three things that we have to do on Yugadis. So on Akṣaya Tṛtīya, there is a Yava Homa to be done for Vishnu. Tasyam Karyo Yavair Homaha Yavair Vishnum Samarchayit. So do worship Lord Vishnu with Yavas, that is a grain like barley, and perform Yava Homa with Yavas for Vishnu, and even eat Yava on that particular day if possible. So this is another additional thing that I think I have skipped. So these are the aspects.
This is important to know, and it actually connects with something very day to day to me, Andy, because I have been asked by a lot of friends, especially those who are not Indians, when they saw pictures, let's say of Marina Beach or Chirala Bapatla Beach, people are just standing and watching the ocean. Varuna Devata, Varuna Kada, or ocean. So they're just watching and not jumping in. And they asked, don't they know swimming, or don't they like to go into the water in the beach? You know, it is hot. Why don't they? So I never understood why, because this knowledge has seeped into us from generations. We do not disrespect it. Now, when you're telling me, I suddenly realize, oh, that is the reason we are not jumping into the ocean and flapping about. And because you're telling me, Shastra says only certain days we can bathe in the ocean, which is also about sustainability. We are not, thrashing. We're not supposed to. So we use it or we treat it with respect, and only certain days we enter the ocean. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for this, Andy. I think I finally made a connection, because I have been asked by many people, why do I see crowds on Marina Beach just watching the ocean and not getting into the ocean or the waters, This probably explains where even we do not know the reason why we do not go into the ocean every day.
Yeah, that is why, rediscovering gives us a lot of enlightenment. That is the whole purpose for me behind doing this series of this thing is, whenever you find something, it's so enlightening that, this is why our customs are so and so. Because I know that through my gurus, that you cannot even touch Samudra whenever you want.
Yes.
So they used to say that you go to the seashore, but sit in the seashore. Don't you touch the Samudra. And they themselves used to take us on specific days, on Ashadha Amavasya, Kartika Amavasya, and etc. Go there and do Snana. So we used to have this logical, why is this so illogical? Why are they telling us to not touch on normal days, and specific days they are taking us with them again to perform Samudra Snana? So then you find this, okay, unless and until in certain this thing, you cannot perform unless you have a vidhi for that. Yes. So doing a snana in a river is a nitya karma. You can do your nitya snana in a river or in a pond or with the water in the well, but not in Samudra every day. Yes. So it may have other what you call the exterior aspects to it. Every day if you go and you bathe in the Samudra, it's not good for your health, definitely. Yes. Because it's full of salt and etc. Right. So there may be other aspects to it, but for us it is not only perceivable aspects, but there are something called as adhishta, unperceivable aspects which we actually have. So because of that, unless we find a vidhi to perform a bath in the Samudra, we don't do that. And even performing bath over there, prior to Samudra Snana, you have to have your normal Snana in your home. Then only you can do this. These are sacred baths. In sacred baths, it is such that after performing your Nityanusthana only you perform this. It is not that you just wake up from your bed and go into the ocean or and do your bath and come back. So it is not that. It is very sacred for you. So you treat even the water to be very sacred. So everything is very sacred. So it is not, even if we see from the environmental aspect. So you don't use your soap. It's not your first bath of the day. Before performing the bath, you have a normal bath every day that you have. At times after performing the sacred bath, also again you have another bath you have to perform. So it is very sustainable, practice, environmentally sustainable practice also.
And it is also just dipping 3 times. It is not bath and flashing and playing, because I remember my mother would scold us not to play in the ocean. Like if we are, flapping around, she would scold, say, "Ala cheyaguddu," or don't do this, or don't enter the ocean now. We never understood why. She would just say,
we have very detailed descriptions about what not to do when you are bathing in a river or in a samudra. You cannot pass the urine in the, so normally it happens. You cannot use soap, you cannot use anything. I mean, nothing. It's not there for you to clean yourself over there. You are not doing for that. Not for the external hygiene that you are taking a bath in a sacred water body. So the normal, bath, that which you take for the sake of the purpose of external hygiene is different from a sacred bath.
In a river or an ocean, that is a
sacred
bath, and it is not for external cleansing, which should be done separately and then have this. This is so good to know, and I'm very, very excited about this connection, and I can't wait to tell my family about it. And I'm sure the viewers also would have learned a lot. As usual, our conversations with you are very enlightening. We learn so many new things, and I request all the viewers to come back again and again and watch Srinivas Garu's videos. Chala chala dhanyavadalandi. Andariki Akṣaya Tṛtīya Subhakaṅkshalu.
सर्वेभ्यः अक्षय तृतीय पर्वणः शुभाशयाः.
Thank you.
धन्यवादः.